Hey, Survivor. Yeah, I did a Survivor application the night before, but like letting 24 hours to process on it, I realized like, you know what, I want to do an immediate follow-up addendum. Like, you're casting now. This is July. Independence Day is over. You're about to really get into the fucking meat and potatoes of casting. And so like now August and like like the early days of September before the show premieres, and then this is where you're like looking over everything. But I feel like I really need to do an addendum now and not wait till the 15th or the 1st of August. Maybe I want to talk about something different when I send you something on the 1st of August, and I'll try to send it to you on the 1st of August and not like August 8th, because I'm depressed because like you're not going to cast you only cast privileged people. So, I got to get over that in my mind, you know. Um, and as I said, but I just want to explain some things. Here's the thing. If you had cast me on Survivor like years ago, when you were allowed to cast Canadian born citizens, I would be safe. You don't have to have an obligation to cast me, but I would be safe. Like, for instance, um, when you get cast on Survivor, let me think this through very quickly. What I mean by that, um, you know, I mean, being cast in Survivor, you do well, it can lead to employment. The money I would make, even if it was first boot, is probably more money than I ever had in my bank account in my life. So and that it doesn't count like when I was married to an American citizen, because even though I was doing the work, everything was in her name. Um, so even I don't know. I just I want to be safe, and if I'm cast on survival, and I really felt that when I was at RHAP in April. Like, I look at these people, people come up to them, they're on the show, they're safe, they're part of that community, and I'm not safe, and I want to be safe. And there's some things that you don't realize, such as I have not seen my family in since 1999. And because I was in the United States, then I was in Latin America, and I've been back in Canada for 3 years, but I haven't been able to afford it. And I spent 2.5 years in a homeless shelter, and then I worked my way out of commercials. But it's like, because I've never really had steady, secure income, I can't, like, a lot of people who are much younger than me, they can just like go on a plane when they feel like it. They can do this when they feel like it. And it's like, I want to be able to do that too. I'll be 50 in 3 years, and that's not right. You know, like, all these people during COVID were complaining about, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. And then when COVID's lifted, they just go back to the way they were doing. And like like before, I spent most of my life, like as a child, my family didn't do anything and I was stuck. Then I go to the United States, I go get into immigration limbo against my will, and then I'm stuck watching other people. And then, I have a brief window where and I have a brief window where, like in Latin America, I feel like, yeah, I can make my life my life. And yeah, I may only have $90 in my pocket at this juncture or here or there, but I know that I can get remote income, and I'm living like a king. I'm living better than I have ever lived. And the pandemic, sent me, but I feel like trapped in a box in Toronto in a way. But I'm going to tell you something about me, and that is, I tried to live the best free life regardless of limitation. Other people might put limitations on me, but I try not to put limitations on myself, if that makes sense. Like, for instance, I found, I was never supposed to travel to Central America because I was trapped in the United States. But I did. And, I can technically play on Survivor. You can put me out. You can fly me to Fiji. There are ways around everything. There are ways around it, but it's like, I don't like this world where you can't do that because of blah, blah, blah. No, I can do it. There are workarounds. There are ways around it. Like, for example, my curtain fell, and, the curtain fell, and so I couldn't put anything into the ceiling. And so it's like I tried to figure it out until I could find a way to hang that curtain. I had to make some adjustments. I had to, nothing would stick to that ceiling. So I just put the hooks behind the blinds, and, I'm going to have to, but I've got $200 in the bank, and I'm going to go to Walmart and get a $15 curtain. I mean, I'm tired of living like this. I'm just tired of, but as I said, there's something, I have an amazing life. Like, even though I'm telling you about all these things that, I never learned how to drive, in a month or two, I could be working on a movie, interacting with celebrities, because that's how my life has always been. I've always, I've seen movies with Siskel and Ebert when they were alive, with Siskel and Ebert. I'm not joking. I wrote movie reviews with the Columbia Chronicle when I was at Columbia College of Chicago. So as I said, I've always lived an amazing life. And so it's just like, but at the same time, I've never been able to learn how to drive, which makes no sense, So it's like this, I don't know. If I'm cast on Survivor, it will bring me a sense of peace. It'll bring me a sense of safety. I will have enough money to visit my family in Halifax. I will have enough, it will lead to other opportunities. It will, I can grow out there on the island. I'm going to play there to win. I'm going to play to win. But I want to be safe. I want to be working. I want to have steady, secure income. And I would be if not for this writer's strike. But it's like, I don't know. It's just, I don't want to repeat myself. But anyway, yeah, let's just review this very quickly. Oh, yes, there is one thing. If you put me into the casting hopper now, I can prepare. I don't know when this started, but preparing for Survivor is now, you have to, in this new era of Survivor, for whatever reason, you have to put more preparation in than you used to. You just have to. I have to get a flint and start practicing in my apartment. I'm not joking. I got to start looking at preparing for puzzles. I got to go to the gym more. I have the body of a woman, but it's just it looks like I never work out, but I do like to exercise. So but I want to prepare to be on Survivor, and I want to because you have to prepare more than you used to be on the show. I think you could go out there and wing it and win. That day, those days are over. You can't just do that anymore. You have to prepare. So if I can get in the casting mix now, and I could be in the casting mix for 2 to 5 years, assuming the show doesn't go off the air, and I could be spending that time preparing. But I want to get on that fucking island, and I want to be filming. Let's make it happen. So I'm filming. I'm out in Fiji in April and May, and meeting wonderful new friends for life, and try to win that fucking game. All right, thank you so much. There's always a way around everything. And you can ask me questions about my life. I can talk about being undocumented. I can talk about the whole Chicago thing. I can talk about, and honestly, I've said this before, that whole Chicago experience, it was 2002. where a police officer thought a wallet was my gun. No, thought my gun. No, yeah, thought I didn't have a gun on me. Because I don't have a gun. I've never fired a gun in my life, but they thought a wallet was a gun. And so, and then I was in the old Cook County for 4 months. And then, at the time they fucked up my immigration green card. And so that was completely gone. I could not apply for a green card again after that. And then, 14 years later, I was living in Louisville and applying for Survivor, and Survivor gave me the courage to turn myself in 2016 before Fat Fuck got elected. And then and I sent a video about it at the time. And I mean, I don't think I would have ever done that if not for Survivor. And I'm not joking about that. And it gave me that courage. And then it changed my life. Got that off. It was made into a non-event. It was made into nothing. And then I could technically get legal, but it didn't work out that way. And then I left. Then I went out to Colorado. I was in Indiana for 6 weeks. I did an application video there. I did application videos out in Colorado when I was there. And then I went to Latin America and made application videos there. And then I've, done various application videos in Toronto for the last 3 years. So there's a will, there's a way, There's a way to get me on the show. There's a way for me to win the game. There's a way for me to have steady, secure income once and for all like a normal human being. And there's a way for me to see my family again in Halifax, who I have not seen in 1999. And I can get, and yeah, there's a way, okay? All right.